A good afternoon to you from Brunswick County Community College. It's time for Dolphins basketball today here on YouTube. Today it's the Brunswick Dolphins coming in at 7-1, undefeated at home here at 4-0, taking on the Lenoir County Lancers, who come at 2-6 and 0-4 on the road. Hi everybody, Chris Sheba, glad to be with you for today's first broadcast here from Brunswick, and thank you for joining me as well. To meet the starting lineups first, we'll start with the road team, the Lancers of Lenoir County. As I mentioned, 2-6, head coach is Chris Brown. He starts number 1, Nelson White, number 5, Eric Agee, number 10, Michael Satterfield, number 12, Nick Brannick, and number 24, Khalik Rim. So that's the starters today for the Lancers. For the Dolphins and head coach Walter Shaw, in his 18th season, he starts number 2, Omari Wilson, number 3, Elijah Gore, number 10, Devin Hutchinson, number 12, Jaleel Scott, and number 32, Najee Thomas. So that's the starters for both of these teams as they get introduced here today. Folks, you can use the hashtag BCC Dolphins Flying, all one word. Use that hashtag on Twitter or Instagram if you want to give us a shout during today's broadcast. Love to hear from you. Thanks for being a part of broadcast number 1. We'll do, I think, 9 broadcasts this season, which will conclude in late February. So looking forward to being a part of it. Thanks to Coach Shaw for having me. So let's set the stage for this game. The Lancers yet to get a road win. In fact, there are 2 wins coming against the same team, the University of Mount Olive. They're coming off a 106-86 loss at Wake Tech on Wednesday. They've been on the road quite a bit here in the early stages of this season. Meanwhile, for Brunswick, a good start to the year for the Dolphins. 83-79, they took down Fayetteville Tech on November 21st. Shot 54% in that game, including 11 of 21 from behind the arc. Hutchinson, 21 points, and the Dolphins forced 29 turnovers and had 13 steals. Dolphins in the white, Lancers in the blue. Let's tip it up and get this thing going. And the Dolphins will possess first. This is the second meeting between these two teams. Lenoir hosted the Dolphins back in the early stages of November 4th, and Brunswick won that one easy, 112-87. The Dolphins outshot the Lancers 53% to 46%. Brunswick had 29 assists on 44 made field goals. Shot clock down here on their first possession. It's Hutchinson from the top of the key, and he gets it to go. Hutchinson, who had 31 to lead all scorers in the first meeting between these two teams, puts his team on the board. White is long from 3. Agee the rebound. It's a good rebounding team. Lenoir doesn't have a lot of size, but they do a pretty good job rebounding the basketball. Their problem is defensively. You saw them start out in a zone. We'll see how it goes here today, but the Lancers have really struggled defensively. Agee with 10 on the shot clock, bounce pass to Rim, and he banks it off the glass, so both teams successful on their opening possessions. Hutchinson, the Radford commit, as I mentioned, he had 31 in the first meeting. McCoy also had 14. Lenoir Satterfield had a double-double with 18 and 10. Open look. Scott for 3, no. The rebound controlled by Thomas. And Brunswick, with the patient offense, will set it up again, navigating the zone. Dribbling in is Gore, swings it out to Wilson, to the baseline, to the bucket. Omari Wilson, 56% shooter on the season, makes it 5-2. Here's White from the corner. Rem, pass deflected, and Wilson comes up with it. Wilson glides in and throws it down with the 2-hand jam. So Omari Wilson's got 4, and it's 7-2. Right back quickly. The air ball from Brannock on the layup attempt. Now Gore. Good ball movement, unselfish play. Wilson misses the 3. Scott follows it. It's been discipline and doing the little things. Active hands on defense for the Dolphins this year. 14 steals per game. They've been sharing the basketball, averaging about 20 assists per game. It's those little things, unselfishness. keeping your hands active defensively. Good ball movement. There's Wilson, baseline shot, no good. Rebound controlled by Rem. This is Agee. Agee, 4.3 assists per game. He's usually the man to set it up for the Lancers. He'll get it back from Brannock. And we have our first foul of the game. It's on Brunswick. Jaleel Scott from Charlotte, North Carolina, picking up the foul. So White will inbound, 20 on the shot clock. And Agee, guarded by Gore in the man-to-man. We'll direct traffic here for Lenoir County. Lenoir County's Region 10, but they're D2. And Brunswick County's Region 10, but they're D1. So you can be in the same region and have different. Oh, backdoor, wide open. Rem with the cupcake. It has to do where you're placed in regions is, you know, where you live, where your region is. But the divisions have to do with the amount of scholarships are given out and little things like that. Taking a dribble, firing a three as Hutchinson can't get it to go, tips it to his teammate Thomas. 2 dunks for Brunswick as they lead by 5 of just about 4 minutes in. There's those active hands again. Gore with the steal. Gore for 3, in and out. Fighting for the rebound, Rem. Tried to get it to White. White trouble with the pass. They'll call a jump ball, and I believe the possession arrow favors Lenoir County. Lenoir County a little bit north, up 17 from here in the Kinston area. Brandon Ingram from Kinston, North Carolina, so it's a rural part of the state, but it's got good basketball genes. Driving is Satterfield, missed it short. Rebound controlled by Thomas, and here come the Dolphins. Gore back to Scott, swung over now to Hutchinson, looking in for Thomas. It's it back out to Hutchinson, now Wilson dribbles in. Good again, patient offense for the Dolphins. Driving is Scott, too strong off the glass. Good box out there from Khalik Rem. Averages 5 rebounds per game. He's on his way to that here in this first 5 minutes of this first half. Driving in is Agee. Again, the trees inside. That was good defense from Thomas, who averages 2 blocks per game. Wilson back to Gore, and Gore with 17 to shoot will set it up again. Thomas, top of the key, Hutchinson, trouble with the pass. It's deflected to Scott. 7 to shoot now for the Dolphins. Here's Gore for 3. Yes. Elijah Gore, 46% from behind the arc. He shoots 4 percentage points better from downtown than he does overall. 42% shooter overall. Connecting on that triple. Had 7 in the first meeting. Back down the court now. That shot missed underneath by Rem, who's trying to make something happen. First sub, Walter Shaw will go deep. He's got a deep bench. You can see it over there on the side. And the first sub of the game is Mike Melvin in for Elijah Gore. 9 to shoot now. Agee, Rem, and a foul on Thomas. So that's the second of the afternoon. Nelson White will inbound it. Shot clock at 20. Quick trigger on the triple and bearing it. Kirtland Moore off the bench. Kirtland Moore, 42% shooter. He had 12 points in the first meeting between these two teams. One of two players, in double figures for the Lancers in that blowout loss. Hutchinson on the left wing. Here's Melvin. Alley-oop, throw it down. Wilson Omari Wilson with some ups. Brunswick doubling up the Lancers. It's 14-7. Moore into the forecourt. Satterfield for three. Missed it short. Tip for the rebound. Coming up with it, Moore. Good extra pass by White. Laying it up and in was Rem. Thomas. Hutchinson for three. Nothing but net from Hutchinson. And the lead is 8. Dolphins and Lancers for the second time this season. Corner look for three from Satterfield, no. Long rebound chased down by Moore. Satterfield, couple of fakes. It's blocked and taken away by Thomas. And here come the Dolphins again. Wilson thought about it, rims it in. And it's raining threes here in Brunswick County. Rem to the bucket over two defenders, got it to go. Brunswick averaging 94 points per ball game. Hutchinson for three, can't get it to go. Why not? The little heat check, nice rebound by White, and he's going to be fouled. That'll be the third on Brunswick. Looks like we will have a timeout, so we'll step aside. 12:28 left to go in the opening half. Good start for the Dolphins as they lead it by 9. We'll be back. Welcome back to Brunswick County. Chris Shima, glad to be with you. Our first Dolphins broadcast, first of 9, I believe, this season that we'll bring you. Next one coming up next Saturday. A lot of home games here in the month of December. In fact, they're all home games for Brunswick. Off the bench, Moore starting to heat up for the Lancers as he's got back-to-back buckets since coming in. And the lead is 6. Brunswick won 112-87 in the first meeting. So far, Brunswick making a lot of subs out of the timeout, too. Number 21 losing the ball, Josh Woodward. Daquan Lockme was also in there. He's number 34 on your screen. Omari Wilson still out there. Also coming in is Khalil Daly, number 11, as Wilson buries yet another 3 for Brunswick. And I believe that's everybody. So Melvin remains out there with the Dolphins as well. Another foul, that's going to be the 4th on Brunswick. Nelson White goes to the line, a 65% free throw shooter. Sophomore, 10 points per game, 6 rebounds, 2 assists, and about 2 steals. Good stat line for him. 23-15 now. So the next game that we will have for you, also a 3 p.m. game on Saturday of next week. It's against Johnston Community College. Into the forecourt now, it's Melvin. Quick look from Daly. Can't get the 3 to go. Rebound by Rem. And thrown away. Good defense again. Melvin with the steal. Melvin to the bucket, and he's called for the offensive foul as Agee took the charge. So that's 5 on Brunswick. No fouls yet on Lenoir County. The Lancers playing perfect in that aspect, with the basketball now trailing by 7. Lancers go home after playing a lot of road games. On Wednesday, they'll be at Fayetteville, or they host Fayetteville Tech at 7, and then on Saturday, they host Catawba Valley at 3. More subs. Najee Young for the Lancers and Sadiq Johnson, number 22, the sophomore for Brunswick from down the road in Supply. Young. Bounce passes it to White. Here's Rem. With the shot clock expiring, just got it away. Missed it back rim. Johnson the rebound. Here come the Dolphins, the second unit now for Brunswick. Johnson. Lockamy. And Lockamy tie it up. Possession arrow will keep it on this side of the court. Brannick and Satterfield returning for the Lancers as Chris Brown shuffles bodies in. The Lancers 101st in Division II, allowing opponents to shoot 48%, and they're 108th in three-point field goal defense. Brunswick has been hot at the start of this one, although that shot by Woodard is missed. Here comes the Lancers. Step back from Young. No. Daly the board. Melvin splits the defense. The floater. Can't get it to go. Tipped rebound comes to Woodard. Here's Daly to the bucket. Scoops it up short. Second effort. Yes. Brannick. Catch and shoot from Ebbison, who's come in. That's DeQuayne Ebbison for 3, missing it. Here's Johnson for 3, too strong. Offensive rebound by Woodard. Put back, no. Another offensive rebound, and this time he's going to the line. Josh Woodard, 70% free throw shooter. The freshman, 6 points, 51% shooter, about 4.5 rebounds off the bench for the Dolphins so far on the young season. 7-1 start for Brunswick. Their lone loss came to a very good Lewisburg team. They lost that 85-69 on the 11th of last month. And the first double-digit lead of the game, as the first free throw is up and good. Woodard, a couple of points in the first meeting between these two teams. And he's got 2 here now. A.J. Baldwin going to come in. No, he's not. I thought he was coming in. They blew the horn, but he'll have to wait. Just a little trap here from the Dolphins. Woodard giving it a look in the backcourt. No trouble for the Lancers. Ebbison from the baseline, no, but the putback by the little guy, Young. Nice hustle by him. Good ball movement again from Brunswick underneath. Woodard can't get it to go. Moore with the rebound. Ebbison. Satterfield. Here's Young. Top of the key, Moore for 3. Made one earlier, missed it a little bit long that time though. Lockamy with the rebound, and then it's taken away by the Lancers. Ebbison for 3, missed that short. On the run out now, it's Melvin. Melvin 2-on-2, takes it himself, missed it back rim. Tip up, no, by Daly. Scrum for the basketball now. Woodard had it and lost it. Now the Lancers get it, and Moore is fouled. That will be team foul number 6. So 8:41 left to go, and the Lancers will be in the bonus on the next defensive set foul. A.J. Baldwin coming in now for the first time for the Dolphins. Nelson White returns for the Lancers. So let's set the 5 on the court for you. It's Brannick and Satterfield up front with Moore, White, and Young. That's the 5 for the Lancers, and they're going to get free throws as Johnson was over aggressive. So Johnson on the court with Lockamy, also Heath, A.J. Baldwin, Daly, and I believe that's everybody. Did I say 5 names? I think I might have missed Daly. He's number 11 for the Fish. Front end of the 1-and-1 is good for White. Nelson White, 2 out of 2, and the lead back down to 7. I'm going to call a foul on the Lancers here on Young. That's just team foul number 2 for the Lancers, so they can stay aggressive here late in this first half. 8:34 left to go until halftime. Coming up at halftime, we'll take our take a 15-minute break so you can check in on all the championship football games. Call your mom, she misses you. And then 15 minutes go by, we'll keep the broadcast going, and when you hear the sound of my voice, you'll know to start paying attention again. A scoop from Daly. Young with the rebound. Like what I've seen from him. Love to see the little guys who can rebound. That's how you stay on the court. Satterfield left of the lane jumper is good, and the lead is down to 5 now. 6-0 run for the Lancers, and drawing contact is Johnson for the Dolphins. That'll be team foul number 3 on Lenoir County. Sadiq Johnson, 50% free throw shooter. Good on that one. Ends a 6-0 run and puts Brunswick back up by 6. More subs. Fabian Joyner, the freshman, number 25 coming in. Eric Agee, number 5, returning for the Lancers. Both free throws are in, and Omari Wilson will come back into the game for the shooter, Sadiq Johnson. Joyner on the left. Agee, bounce pass to Satterfield, tosses it to White. White driving on Heath, goes behind the back to Brannock, and he shuffled his feet. So the ball goes back to the Dolphins. Dolphins have led by as many as 11. It's been 3-point shooting, at least from the first unit, that propelled the Dolphins out to a fast start. They have led from the opening tip. Heath for 3, in and out. Joyner the board, lost it. Heath comes up, and offensive foul again called on the Dolphins. So 7:24 left to go here until halftime. That's team foul number 8 on Brunswick. Agee into the forecourt. Scoop to White. White guarded by Heath. Man defense for the Dolphins here. Satterfield swings it to Joyner. Joyner had it poked away by Heath. 2-on-1 now. Wilson takes it himself, laying it up and in. So after that 6-0 run by Lenoir, Brunswick's answered with a couple of field goals, and the lead back to 9. Strong move to the bucket from Agee, though, counted on the foul. And Eric Agee, who had 17 points in the first meeting between these two teams, will go to the line, try to complete an old-school 3-point play. It's also 9 team fouls on the Dolphins. So double bonus for the Lancers over the next 6:52. Daly is out. Jaleel Scott returning for Brunswick. Rebound to Tevian Heath. Oh, nobody back on Lockamy, and he's fouled in transition. So Daquan Lockamy, 50% free throw shooter, a freshman, will go to the line for 2. That's team foul number 4 on the Lancers. Lancers in the midst of a 3-game losing streak. They've allowed over 100 points in each of the last 3 games. Brunswick scored 112 on them in their first meeting. 33-24 is the score here in this one. Agee gets a screen, takes it left, swings it out. Brannock The reverse underneath, Joyner no good. Tip for the rebound, Joyner tried to save it, but it'll go to Brunswick. Brunswick, more bodies shuffling in and out. Najee Thomas returning. They were patient at the outset, were the Dolphins, but this is a team that likes to play fast. They are 8th in Division I with 75.8 field goals attempts per game. Underneath, no trouble there for Heath. Brunswick's got the size advantage in this one. They can exploit that anytime they want. Although credit the Lancers, their shorter players have played big. Step back from White, clearing some space. Nice move from him. Nelson White. Another bucket for him. Wilson grazes the rim. That's all on that three. White the rebound. Satterfield in the corner. It's Mays. Mays misses that three. Good defense by White, who takes it away. Anticipated the pass, goes to the bucket, and can't get it to go, but it'll get a couple of free throws out of it. 10 team fouls now on the Dolphins. 5:29 left to go until halftime. Chris Shima, glad to be with you here in Brunswick County. First of several broadcasts that we'll have concluding in late February. It's nice to be able to highlight a program like the program that Walter Shaw has built here. His 18th year, it's over 300 wins, averaging 20 wins a season. He's sent, I think, over 100 now young men to four-year institutions. The correct score on your screen is 35-28. At least that's what it's shown here on the scoreboard. Driving on the baseline, Heath will go to the line as the whistles start to pile up here late in this first half. I worked up the road for the past couple of years with Cape Fear Community College, and they have a good program. North Carolina's got some good hoops at all levels of college and high school athletics. It's not just the Dukes, the North Carolinas, and the bigger schools. There is really good high school and college talent in the state of North Carolina. I've made the argument that it's probably the best in the country, or at least in the conversation for the best in the country. The fake by Moore, drives in, rejected by Thomas. Agee, turnaround three, no, and Thomas gets the rebound, so two good defensive plays from Thomas here today. Thomas gets it back from Wilson, tied up, able to get it out to Baldwin, though. Thomas underneath, Thomas blocked, able to get it up anyways, missed it, got the rebound. Scott over to Wilson for three. Too strong on that jumper. Moore with the rebound. Agee. Moore. Satterfield. 13 to shoot now. Mays swings it cross court to Moore. 7 on the shot clock for the Lancers. Moore spins, shoots, it's an air ball, and Heath pulls down another rebound. Heath's a double-double threat. Scott back to him. The bounce pass to Baldwin, open look, and he flips it up and in. Second double-digit lead of the afternoon. It's been as high as 11 for Brunswick, 38-28. It's stripped by Wilson out of bounds, so we'll stay on this side of the court. Devin Hutchinson returning. He's one of those players that Walter Shaw, Hutchinson going to, or a Radford commit, the sophomore from Charlotte. Off the inbound, lazy inbound, and it's poked away. How about that play? Baldwin to Wilson. And Wilson benefits from his good defensive play. Mays answers back with a 3. So briefly, Brunswick takes its biggest lead of 12. Lancers answer back with a triple. It's back down to 9. Here's Hutchinson. Can't get it to go, but he's fouled. And I believe it's going to be 3 free throws. Devin Hutchinson, 60% free throw shooter. 31 points in the first meeting. The sophomore averaging 17 points per ball game, shooting 60% from the field. Things will be a little tougher for him next year at Radford, but he's got good numbers. He's a good shooter, good worker. And he'll be playing D1 basketball in 2018 and 19. So a chance now for the Dolphins to match its biggest lead here of the afternoon. And Hutchinson, all 3 from the charity stripe. AG into the forecourt. White. And again, what do? You're trying to post up against those bigs, and they just got too much height. I've been there. I'm 5'5". Believe me, I've been there. Hutchinson, a wild shot. Ball tipped to Rem, who pulls down the rebound. Agee. White fakes, drives, the scoop, no. And it's off Hutchinson, out of bounds. Inside 3 minutes to go here in the opening half. All Brunswick, they've led since the opening tip, leading by 12. White, Agee, pull up from Satterfield, and the rebound by Scott. Baldwin from deep, can't get it to go. Mays collects and threw it away, looking for White, and missed his target. Driving in, Baldwin scoops it off the glass and in. Agee out near midcourt, looking for a screen, steps into a 3, yes. That's all you need to do, just clear just enough space to get a look, and that's what his man did. Agee benefits. Should give assists on screens like that. Agee spinning, and he's tied up. Nope, he's called for steps. The traveling is the call as we go inside 2 minutes to go here in the opening half. Again, take a 15-minute break at halftime. Set your timers. Then we'll step aside, come back, bring in the second half. Try to run down and get some stats for you, too. Be interested to see. Brunswick came out like gangbusters shooting the 3. Alley-oop, miscommunication. Luckily for Wilson, he got it back. Baldwin goes back to Wilson. And I think there might have been an issue with the shot clock. It's at 21, and they might have reset it on the alley-oop, and if the alley-oop hit the rim, then they probably should have reset it, but the officials are going to discuss that. And while they do that, a reminder that you can learn about the program there, BrunswickCCHoops.com, so check that out. So the shot clock is reset, changed to 11. So 11 to shoot now for the Dolphins. Baldwin the alley-oop, and it's off the mark. That's going to go off Brunswick, out of bounds. Good idea. But the execution not there. Joyner drawing contact, and again, more free throws. This is the way the game is called in college. Whether you like it or not, the last couple of years, the hand checks and the body checks, and they've really clamped down on those, and it's been painful at times to watch. So if you're wondering at home why he was backing away and that's called a foul, it's, believe it or not, that's the rule. Whether we like it or not. At all levels of college athletics, they all adopt whatever Division I NCAA rules are. So everybody plays with those rules, which, you know, at the JUCO level is especially important because you want to get these kids to four-year schools, preferably D1s if they've got the talent and the grades. Ooh, can you get the rim? Yes, Wilson got it to go. Lead back to 12. Steal by Scott. Baldwin, numbers for the Dolphins, and Baldwin, I believe, is fouled, so that's going to be 7 now, I believe, on Lenoir. So 1-1 now, with 33 ticks left here in this first half. A.J. Baldwin. Antonio, 56% free throw shooter. Front end of the 1-1 is good. Dolphins have led by as many as 14 here in the first half, and they've led from start to finish so far. And they match their biggest lead now. So nearing the 50-point mark, about a 3-second difference between game and shot clock. Rem swings it out to White for 3. Missed it short. Rebound controlled by Scott. Brunswick can hold for the final shot of this opening half. So the Dolphins pounding it on the inside. Some alley-oops. Some three-point shooting. Doing a little bit of everything. The stop and go from Baldwin. 51-35. Full court shot. E.G. almost got it to go, but Brunswick will take its biggest lead into the locker room, 51-35. We'll step aside for the half, come back and bring in the second half here in just a little bit. Don't go too far. Welcome back to Brunswick County Community College. The Dolphins of Brunswick leading Lenoir County, the Lancers, by a score of 51-35. Start of the second half. Chris Shima, glad to be back with you. It'll be Lancers with the basketball there in the blue and Brunswick in the white. Trying to check. It looks like the usual starters for Brunswick as we get a quick turnover. Scott comes up with the steal. So for Brunswick, Hutchinson, he's going to be called for the offensive foul. They've called that pretty consistently that way. So it's Omari Wilson, number 2. Number 3 is Elijah Gore. Number 10, Devin Hutchinson. 12, Jaleel Scott. Number 32 is Najee Thomas. And we already have a sub in for the Lancers as Kirtland Moore. We'll just give him credit with getting the start here in the second half with Eric Agee in the backcourt. Michael Satterfield. Also, number 1 is Nelson White. And number 24, Khalik Rem. So that's the 5 on the floor for both of these teams. This is Brunswick County's biggest lead. They have led since the opening tip. Looking to make it 2 straight against the Lancers here in 2017-18. This is the second meeting between these two teams as Hutchinson misses the 3. The putback is good, though, from Najee Thomas. Brunswick won the first meeting 112-87. The Lancers coming in at 2-6. Brunswick is 7-1. They are perfect here at home as Moore's 3 goes in and out. Dolphins are 4-0 here on their home court. Gore out near midcourt. Elijah Gore, the sophomore from Mount Holly, takes it to the near side. Wilson gets it back to him. 9 to shoot now for the Dolphins. Scott with 5 to shoot. Shot clock winding down. Gore with 2, and he's fouled with 1 on the shot clock. And if you're head coach Chris Brown, that'll take some hair out of the top of your head. There's 2 pet peeves that I know all coaches will scream about. One of them is fouling with the shot clock below 10 seconds. The other one is not boxing out the shooter on free throws. Those are the 2 things every time that you will hear about for weeks from a head coach if you're a player. Scott for 3, got it to go, and Brunswick running it up to 21 now. And I know that, ladies and gentlemen, because I did all of those things consistently as a player, which is why I'm up here talking to you. They're going to call a jump ball here, so Brunswick will get the basketball. Both teams with the team foul here, 2 minutes in. Gore into the forecourt for the Dolphins. It's been zone for the Lancers here today. Hutchinson might have got it away with a couple extra steps, but gets the bucket to go. Lead out to 23. Moore on the right side, the bounce pass. Satterfield back to Moore. Moore, couple of nice fakes, able to get that bucket. That was a hard-earned field goal from Moore. Patient. Waiting for his defender to gamble. Thomas on the reverse, gets the friendly roll. 60-37. Brunswick averaging 14 steals per game. That's going to be an offensive foul as the Dolphins have gotten wise to how this one's being called. DeQuayne Ebbison coming in, the freshman. 7.8 points per ball game. He'll replace Kirtland Moore. 2 team fouls now on the Lancers. Just 1 so far here in the first 3 minutes for the Dolphins. Here's Gore on the left wing. Top of the key, it's Wilson. Back over to Gore. Good ball movement. Hutchinson, the extra pass to Thomas. Thomas, no problem. Najee Thomas is 6'10", and he's got several inches on the tallest Lancer as that three from Satterfield is long, and it's last touch out of bounds off the Lancers. Timeout. Lenoir County will talk it over. All Brunswick here in the start of this second half. We'll be right back. There's our next broadcast coming up on Saturday of next week. It's the Dolphins hosting Johnston Community College at 3 p.m. Chris Shima, glad to be back with you here at Brunswick CC. The Dolphins, good start to the second half, has pushed their lead, which was at 16 at the half, now out to 25. And again, just taking the open spots in the zone. Wilson misses the jumper, but that's what you're looking for if you're Brunswick. Agee. Here's White. Satterfield top of the key. Ebbison on the near side for the Lancers. Lancers coming home. They'll host Fayetteville Tech on Wednesday at 7. Three ball is short by White. Ball tipped out to Wilson. Wilson running and gunning to Hutchinson. Hutchinson the reverse over two players, no. And Lenoir gets the rebound, almost threw it away though as White was looking for Satterfield on the near side of your screen. Xavier McCoy, number 13, in for Omari Wilson for the Dolphins. So shot clock at 27 as we're inside 16 minutes to go here in the ball game. Brunswick looking to go to 8-1 on the season. 5-0 here at home. That ball deflected by Gore. Averaging 94 points per game, shooting 48% as a team, plus 14 per game and rebounding. 19.9 assists per ball game, 14 steals as Agee is foul. They are averaging about 19 and a half turnovers, and if you're Coach Shaw, you want to see that number go down, especially once you start playing more Division I opponents in Region 10 play. Playing out of division does not count, so this does not count as a Region 10 game, even though these are two Region 10 teams, because Lenoir is Division 2 and Brunswick is Division 1. So it's an outer conference game, if you want to put it that way, just to use a different adjective to avoid confusion. Going coast to coast, Gore short on the jumper, rebound controlled by Rem. Into the front court, White. Man defense here for Brunswick. They've been in that for most. Over Thomas. Rem gets it to go, and a late whistle. Foul called on, I believe, McCoy. So 3 team fouls now on Brunswick, 2 on Lenoir here with 15:25 left to go now. It'll be Khalik Rem to go to the line, 57%, trying to complete the old school three-point play. And he does. So Lenoir shaving some points off the lead. Still a long way to go now. Down by 20. 62-42, the correct score on your screen. Hutchinson in the corner. Open look for Scott. Rainbows the three. Brunswick pushes it right back out. Stepping into a three, Agee can't get the bounce. Rebound controlled by Thomas. Dolphins will look to run when they have the opportunity and push the tempo. Scott, back-to-back triples. And just like that, the lead at 26, the biggest of the afternoon. That's what's so disheartening when you're in games like this. You're Lenoir County and you get it down to 21, and then all of a sudden here comes another steal and the run out by Scott, who throws it down. And the lead grows to 28, and a frustrated Chris Brown will call for time. We go away again, 14:26 left to go in the ball game, and the Dolphins in control. We'll be back. Lancers with the basketball, trailing by 28. Chris Shima, glad to be back with you. One of the cool things you could do on YouTube if you subscribe to the Brunswick men's page is when we set up the live stream, you can actually set a reminder so you can get a text message or an email or whatever you want on your phone to remind you what time the game is. Usually I set up the games on the Wednesday prior if it's a Saturday game, and a couple of days prior if it's during the week, so you can look for that and just click the set reminder and it'll let you know when it's about to start. Young taking it left of the lane and banking it in. Into the forecourt quickly is Brunswick. Hutchinson swings it to McCoy. McCoy right of the lane, no. Tip rebound, Woodard, who's come in, got it, no, but he'll go to the line as he's fouled on the second attempt. So Woodard hit a couple of free throws in the first half, back at the line, doing good work offensively underneath as Walter Shaw gets ready to bring in three new bodies. Again, a lot of players on this Dolphins team. They have recruited well, and it's a deep bench. So coming in for the first time is number 4, that's Dimitri Leak. Also coming in is number 15, Mike Melvin, and number 11, Khalil Daly. They join Woodard and also McCoy as the 5 on the court. 2 out of 2 again for Woodard. 72-44 now, Brunswick. Moore trying to drive in. Backs it out. Moore for 3. Boy, this kid can shoot. He's got a couple of buckets off the bench. Mays came in averaging just 8.2 points. He might be in double figures already. Brunswick again, patient, taking what the zone offers. That 3 no good. Quick put back off the miss. Daly cleans up the boards. Moore and dribbles it out of bounds. So the ball will go back to the Dolphins. So the Dolphins, this is game number 3 of a 9-game homestand. Their next road game isn't until after the new year on January 13th at Caldwell Tech. 5 straight on the road after the homestand, though, so enjoy that home cooking while you can, gentlemen. on their way to 5-0 at home. Heat check from Mays that time, no good. Rebound controlled by Woodard, who pushes it and shuffled his feet. Yep. So turnover will give the ball back to the Lancers. Mentioned Lenoir County is a couple hours north, up 17 from where we are here in Bolivia or Supply or whatever town you want to call it. Rural part of eastern North Carolina. Nice move to the bucket by Joyner, who gets a couple. Lenoir asking for a foul called. They did not get it. 14 fouls on Brunswick, 3 on Lenoir. Nice spin move. Can't get the bucket, though, Daly. And the ball deflected out, last touch by the Lancers. Brunswick, on average, is allowing just 61 points per ball game. That's another travel on the Dolphins, so another turnover there. They did give up 87 to the Lancers in their first meeting. Lancers are going to have to catch fire if they're going to get close to that number here today, though. So the Dolphins with a week off after today. They'll be in action against Johnston on the 9th. Then a busy weekend, busy week after that. Foul going to be called, I believe, before the shot as Daly is held. They'll play Thursday, Friday, Saturday in a little Christmas holiday tournament. They'll take on a prep school on the 14th of December, then Chattanooga State on the 15th, and then a Region 10 opponent, I believe, on the 16th. We'll have the games on the 14th and 15th for you, those Thursday, Friday games, if you're unable to make it out. It's a nice facility if you have a chance, if you haven't been down this way, to check out a game. I know some folks probably watching in Charlotte and other parts. Coach Shaw does a good job recruiting in that area. Good basketball programs in the Charlotte metro area. 3-ball is long by Moore, and the Lancers have gone cold here. Inside 11 and a half left to go in the ball game, and Brunswick by 25. They've led by as many as 28 in this one. Sloppy pass there. Moore the steal, and Moore is fouled in transition. That's going to be 5 team fouls on the Dolphins. So Brunswick with 5, Lenoir with 5 as well. Got a new sub. It's Hines coming in. Darius Hines, the freshman. This is his 4th appearance of the season, number 32 for the Lancers. So Hines, who does not normally see a lot of action, no points yet in 3 appearances. .14 on the shot clock for the Lancers. Young now getting the drive on Daly. Sit underneath Moore. 3 to shoot. They got to hoist it up. They're unaware, and the shot clock expires before Young can get that off. So the ball goes back to the Dolphins. 74-49. Nearing the midway point of this second half. Brunswick has had good ball movement today. They started the game hitting a lot of threes. Since they've gone and started to work it more in the paint, taking advantage of their size. Chris Brown's going to send in the farm now. Here's 5 new guys coming in. Ebbison returning. He's number 3. Also Nelson White, number 1. Agee is number 5. Rem is number 24. and number 10 is Satterfield. So the starters back out there for the Lancers. Shaw will stick with his bench. McCoy for 3, got it to go. That's the first bucket in a couple of minutes for either team. And again, it matches the biggest lead at 28. Rem lost it underneath, shot up off the glass by Ebbison, and Brunswick doing a good job not to foul there. Leak throws it up. I think he thought he was going to draw a foul. Good defense from the Lancers that time. Agee to Satterfield. Satterfield steps to the baseline, short on the jumper, rebound by Daly. Melvin into the forecourt for the Dolphins. McCoy catch and shoot, long on the 3, and the rebound controlled by Satterfield. And they're going to get an over-the-back call on the Dolphins. So 16 fouls now on Brunswick. Another sub in for Walter Shaw's team. It's Sadiq Johnson, the sophomore, coming in for Leak. So we're past the midway point here in the second half. 9:32 left to go. Brunswick on their way to an 8-1 start. And looking to stay perfect as well here at home. They came in at 4-0. Agee with 5 to shoot. Agee with 2's got to get it up. Gets it to Rem, who just beat it. And the ball deflected out to Woodard. Woodard's got numbers, takes it himself, and they're going to call a charge. Woodard might have been better off getting rid of that. And he had 3 other guys around him. They have been calling those charges a lot here today, so you have to recognize that and make the smart play. A little wet spot on the court, so they'll clean that up. Now, Michael Satterfield had 18 and 10 for the Lancers in the first meeting. We haven't called his name as much as he inbounds it here today. 3 double-doubles in the first 8 games for Satterfield, wearing number 10 for the Lancers. Nice give and go after some effort. Agee, and again, the Dolphins defense just collapsing low, although White able to find some separation and float it up and in. Daly, Woodard, extra pass to Johnson for 3. Sadiq Johnson with the triple. Johnson just 30% from behind the arc, but gets that one to go, and it looked pretty. Rem. Rebound controlled by McCoy. McCoy lost it. Agee with the steal. Agee to the bucket, and another offensive foul is called as Johnson takes the charge. A.J. Baldwin coming in for Brunswick, and he'll replace Daly. Starters played about the first 5 or 6 minutes here in this second half for Walter Shaw, but for the most part it's been the bench. This team's had the luxury of, they've been off since the 21st of November. They have a week off after this game. So everybody's going to be well rested going into the busy week coming up. Put back on the miss by Rem. He's fouled and will go to the line. Both teams are in the bonus over the final 7:45. So Kalik Rem, 57% free throw shooter, goes to the line. And missed that one. 18 fouls on Brunswick. 6 on Lenoir. Lancers road troubles continuing. They're on their way to 0-5 on the road, and I believe we have a line violation. That'll give an extra free throw to Khalik Rim. So Rim with an extra opportunity and missed it short. Rebound controlled by Brunswick. Melvin into the forecourt for the Dolphins. Over to Johnson. Here's Baldwin. Again, Dolphins patient against this zone. Open look in the corner. Here's McCoy. It's a two-pointer. 82-53 now is the correct score on your screen. We might have taken a point away. Oh, how about that alley-oop? It was White to Satterfield, and Satterfield also drawing the foul. We don't have heights on the Lancers, but Satterfield's got some big ups. And a nice find by White. So Satterfield trying to complete the three-point play. Missed it back rim, and a rebound controlled by Brunswick. Johnson another board. Behind the back pass from Baldwin. Woodard couldn't get that shot to go. Ebbison the rebound. Here come the Lancers. Another alley-oop. This time Satterfield not ready for it, but Rem cleans it up. Brunswick looking to run here. Now they'll pull it back. Baldwin, top of the key. Johnson skies it over to Melvin. Nearing 6.5 left to play. Brunswick has led from the opening tip. Open look, McCoy for three. Xavier McCoy, 47% from downtown on the season. White for three. Answers back with a triple of his own. 85-60 now. Brunswick's led by as many as 28 several different times here in the second half. It's a 16-point game at halftime. Baldwin couldn't get the three. Woodard the rebound and the putback. Again, just patient offense using his size. Josh Woodard at 6'7", trying to alter that shot and leaving it short was Lenoir. To the bucket, Baldwin, and a late whistle, but the correct call will send Baldwin to the line. A.J. Antonio from Fayetteville. 3 games for A.J. with 8 or more assists on the season so far. Looks like Chris Brown for the Lancers is going to sub in a new set of 5 guys. Taquan Lockamy going to come in for the Dolphins here. Free throw up and good. So, Devontae Mays coming into the game. Also checking in is Najee Young. Also, Kirtland Moore. And do we have a technical foul called? Who'd they call it on? Hines also out there. I think it might have been Young who got called for the technical. So now Baldwin will shoot 2 technical free throws as well as his other free throw. No, it was called on Brunswick. So it was called on Brunswick. My apologies. Was it on Johnson? So we believe it's on number 22, Sadiq Johnson. Why, I have no idea what he could have to complain about. Or maybe he was talking a little smack and it got a little out of hand. Yeah, I've been told he talks a lot of smack, so there you go. So 1 out of 2 at the free throw stripe, 89-60 is the score. Tevin Heath coming in for Brunswick, number 1, replacing Mike Melvin. That's also the 10th team foul on Brunswick, so double bonus for Lenoir over the final 5:35. Brunswick's in the 1-1 as well, both teams over the limit. So it will be Lenoir with the basketball. I think there's some debate, Walter Shaw wanting an explanation on whose possession it should be. So they're explaining to him why the Lancers have the basketball. So 5:35 left to go. And Shaw still talking to the official. Actually, both coaches are talking to the officials. Oh, what I wouldn't give for a running clock in college basketball. I mean, they do it in football. I've been told Chris Brown's actually an official himself. So, Lancers basketball. Mays. Here's Young. Joyner guarded by McCoy. Again, it's been man defense for the most part for the Dolphins here today. Young has his pocket pick. Boy, Heath, some good defense from him today. Driving in is Baldwin. Floated it up. No, tried to follow the shot. It's deflected out, and Young had it but lost the ball. It went behind him, and that gave Brunswick an extra possession here. Catch and shoot for McCoy. Short on that three, and it goes out of bounds. Last touch by Brunswick. So inside 5 minutes to go. This one has been a no-doubter for quite a while here in this second half. It was tight for about the first 5 or 6 minutes of the first half. Turnaround shot is no good from Hines as he looks to get on the board for the first time this year. Heath the rebound. It's swung to Johnson for three. Yes. I mean, if you shoot like that, you got to let him talk a little smack, right? Got to let a little something go as he forces the turnover on the other end of the court. So 92-60, Brunswick came in averaging 94, put up 112 against Lenoir in their first meeting back on November 4th. On their way to the century mark yet again. And again, unselfishness. Baldwin can't get the three. Lockamy tips it to himself and cleans up the glass. 94-60. Another turnover for the Lancers, who are ready to warm up the bus. 3:49 left to go. The Lancers came in, as I mentioned in the first half, 2-6, but their lone wins against the same team. They played Mount Olive a couple of times and blew them out both times. Here's a turnover. Nice defense from Mays, and he gets the layup. 94-62. Past 3.5 left to go. Again, the Dolphins off for a week. They'll be in action again next Saturday. That'll start a busy 8-day stretch when they'll play 4 games in 8 days. Johnson again, not that time. Rebound controlled by Hines for Lenoir County. Oh, Young delivered the pass to Moore. Moore couldn't handle it. And that's the day it's been for the Lancers. So the Lancers will go back to Lenoir County and host Fayetteville Tech on Wednesday and then Catawba Valley on Saturday. Baldwin doubled up in the corner and lost the dribble out of bounds. Good defense there from the Lancers. Credit Moore and Mays making the stop. The one thing you never want to do in basketball if you're double teamed is dribble it into that corner. It's a disaster every time. Floating it up, Joyner missed it back rim. Rebound controlled by Sadiq Johnson. Trying to go behind the back was Baldwin, and that pass off the mark. Heath tried to save it, but ran out of real estate. So Walter Shaw's team will go to 8-1, 5-0 here at home when these final 2:27 tick off the clock. And a wire-to-wire game for Brunswick. 3 by Mays, no good. McCoy the rebound. McCoy had 14 points in the first meeting. Good off the bench here again this afternoon. Heath swishes the baseline shot. He's one of those Charlotte players that I was telling you about. One of, boy, I'd say about half the team roughly is from the Charlotte area. A few players from Waxhaw. Couple local products as well. Sadiq Johnson, Josh Woodard, 2 players from right down the street. Inside 2 minutes to go here in this one. That shot rejected. Good block by Lockamy. And that ball's too far forward. It'll go out of bounds. Back to the Lancers. (96-62), the correct score on your screen. Underneath, Hines can't get it to go. Put back, no. Rebound controlled by Heath. Here's Baldwin. Nice extra pass. Johnson to Heath, and they're going to call a tie-up here, so the jump ball will keep possession with the Dolphins. Dolphins usually can be counted on for 20 wins. The alley-oop, Baldwin, the Heath, no. Tried for the putback, and he's going to be fouled, so Heath will go to the line. Well, in the first game of November, they're already up to 8 wins. And again, it'll be the Dolphins. They've got a week to enjoy this victory as well. Heath, 43% free throw shooter, connects on that one. So Heath trying to get 2 out of 2. Not a strong free throw shooter, but he gets the friendly rim that time. And Brunswick closer to the century mark now, 98-62. Like what I've seen today from Young. Can't get that jumper to go, but he's got a lot of hops. Heath can't get it. Put back underneath. Lockamy, no, but the third time is the charm, and Brunswick with 100 points, now leading by 38. The bench has been in for the Lancers for the last 3 or 4 minutes. And Brunswick will have to take one more shot here as they get ready to wrap this one up. Well, again, I want to give a shout out and a thanks to Walter Shaw for inviting me and bringing me in. We've got 8 more of these to bring in, starting with the next home game coming up on Saturday. Heath on the alley-oop, tips it up and in. 102-62, the lead is 40. And they're going to call a foul, which will give some free throws. And it'll be Ebbison who will take the freebies. First one, no trouble there. And the second one good as well. And Brunswick can just dribble this out, as they will go to 8-1 and 5-0 here at home. Lenoir County, the Lancers fall to 2-7 and 0-5 on the road. 102-64 is your final. So the Dolphins continue their fast start, and again, they'll have a week off. Our next broadcast is the Dolphins' next game on Saturday, December 9th. It's Brunswick against Johnston Community College. Coverage starts on YouTube at 3 p.m. Looking forward to bringing you that one as well. So that'll wrap it, everybody. For everybody here at Brunswick, my name's Chris Sheeman. Again, your final score, Brunswick 102, Lenoir 64. Enjoy the rest of your weekend, everybody. Take care.